Hi, I'm Christine.
And I'm Anthony. And this is a new podcast that we're starting about different communities that people at Montclair State University are a part of. So what is a community? A community is a group of people who share a story. It's a piece of someone's identity, and that could be whether it's like it could be like a job, people working at the same place. It could be religion,
or ethnic groups,
or identity, anything of that sort. It's like anyone who shares that is anyone who identifies with one of those things is a part of a community. So what is our community that we're going to be talking about today?
We will be talking about the Hispanic community.
So the Hispanic community is a very large community across the world. It is made up of like Spain, the Caribbean, Central America, and South America. Anyone from those countries can identify with the Hispanic community if they were born into it. And you don't necessarily have to be raised by like a Hispanic person. You can just have that in your lineage and you're a part of the community.
So now we will be playing an interview that was conducted by Annabelle Ozario, and she will be interviewing someone who discusses in detail about the Hispanic community.
Hello, so I'm Annabelle. I'm going to be conducting my third community interview today. I'm here with...
My name is Ruth Osorio. I am of Colombian descent, and I am a nurse.
Okay. I'm just going to give you the introduction for our interview. So, we are often part of various communities that give us a sense of belonging and support, allowing us to connect with others through similar experiences and interests. Communities can be based on geographic location, such as neighborhoods or towns, shared identity or cultures, ethnic groups or religious groups, common interests or hobbies, such as gaming communities or book clubs, professional affiliations, like industries or organizations, or any other commonalities that bring people together. Communities can be a small, close-knit group or a large one. So, with this, I'm asking you the first question. Can you tell me about a community that you are a part of yourself?
I am part of the Colombian community. It's a very large community here where I live in North Bergen. But not just Colombian. I'm also I'd like to be engaged with the Latino community. And through my job as well, we always try to help each other out or help other. So I work in home care with a Latino family, and sometimes we can help other families who have needs, medical needs, there's like a bond because we are Latino. There's no language barrier when it comes to communicating with them.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So why would you say this specific community is important to you?
So, this community is important to me because even though I was born here in the United States, my parents are Colombian, and all my siblings were born and raised in Colombia. They came here very young, and even though I was born here and we lived in the States, my parents made sure that we kept our culture very much a part of our lives, whether it be food or helping others, and also maintain the connection in Colombia, because I still have other family there, other siblings. So, I was open communication with them over there, being a part of their lives even though we're far away, and vice versa.
Okay, great. So, are there any specific strengths in this community that you could point out that you've noticed over your time being a part of it?
So the strengths are, we tend to be very close-knit. We, when you see another Latino, or when I see another Latino, we can engage in conversation and speak Spanish. And sometimes, if they have difficulty communicating in the English language, we tend to help each other out, because especially if you're bilingual, you want to help, even if you don't know the person. That's just, I guess, part of how we are, per se. We like to help with, in different situations, not just the language, but also in any other situations that they need, or they need help or advice. We look out for each other. When I see another Latino person, because we speak the same language, we can engage in a conversation, or help if help is needed, or some type of advice, so I feel like the Latino community, that we're all trying to look out for each other and try to help each other out. And I feel like there's a bond because of we speak Spanish.
That's great. I mean, would you say the bond is more tied to the fact that you share the language, or is it also involved in the fact that you share such a rich culture?
We have the commonality of the language as well as the culture, and we can relate to things, for example, as foods we like, things we like to do, or things we like to do as a family, or participating in the town events, because since there is such a large Latino and Colombian community, they have special events that are done towards the Latino community, so we have a lot of common things with them.
Okay, great. So my last question for you is, are there any specific issues that are important to this community, or even issues that the community deals with that play a significant role in it?
So I want to say the issues, one of the issues is that there are a large amount of Latino people living here that unfortunately are not legal here. And they struggle with trying to get services, or whether it's for them or for their children, or because of the language barrier, they can't get information that they need for assistance with, housing or food or things like that. Or sometimes it's the fear itself, because, they might think that because they're not here legally, if they go and try to get some type of assistance for food or something, that they might get deported. And it would be great if we could take that away and give them the sense of, like, it's okay, you can still get assistance, and there's no need to the fear that they have, because it's basically, they're fearful that if they say something or ask for something, and they, the programs or government assistance finds out that they have no documents, that they might get deported. So that would be one of the issues, is to have maybe more programs are oriented to helping out people that are in this situation.
Okay. Thank you so much for the explanation, and thank you for doing this interview with me.
You're very welcome.
That was a very inspiring interview conducted by Annabelle Osario, a student here at Montclair State University. As you all have heard, the Hispanic community is a very tight-knit community throughout the world, but in this case it was through North Bergen County. And the Hispanic community definitely, I identify with it, and I can say that we are very helpful. Like she mentioned, like they're always there for each other, looking out for one another. And I just think the Hispanic community is definitely something that I'm proud to be a part of, and yeah.
Yeah, to add on to what he said, that was a really great interview, and I'm not a part of the Hispanic community, but I do admire how tight-knit and close they are, and I do have a lot of friends who identify with the Hispanic community, and they definitely said a lot of similar things to what she said. So.
I think a great point to mention is the language. Like she mentioned in the interview, a lot of the times when it comes to helping one another in the community, it has to do with language, because oftentimes there is a language barrier for some people. Not everyone understands English, and a lot of people are native Spanish speakers. So it's great to know that there are people who can speak both English and Spanish that will help one another and translate when needed.
Yeah, I remember this one time where I was on campus, and then there was this guy who approached me, and his first language was Spanish, and he had an English accent, and he needed help with finding directions to Denalo, and I helped him with that. And yeah. And so the interviewee mentioned Colombian immigrants having issues with documentation, and I think it was really noble of her to bring awareness to that issue, as a lot of Hispanic people do have trouble with documentation, and because of that trouble, they have issues with them providing for themselves and their families. And I do agree with her that a great solution is providing programs and support with helping undocumented immigrants in the Hispanic community to get legal documentation.
That is all that we have for you for this episode of the podcast. We thank you for listening and hope that you'll join us next time for the next episode.
Yeah, see you guys in the next episode.